Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing this week?
You know me, man. I'm chilling.
That's good to hear, because last week I was the one chilling, and I gotta tell you, it was pretty odd.
You know,
Not used to it.
had an off week. Happens to us all.
But I think we're gonna fire on all cylinders today for unlike Watchmen, which was an older movie. We are talking about a much more current movie, and that is Rambo: Last Blood. Possibly. It's the way they've been marketing it. If they stick to their word, this is the last movie in the Rambo franchise. Obviously, started a couple decades ago by Sylvester Stallone as the main character, John Rambo. In this movie, he is way past, he's super old. He's on a farm in Arizona. He's kept to himself. He has like a slash daughter, like niece kind of thing that he takes care of. And, well, she wants to go to Mexico, find out who her true father is. And let's just say for now it doesn't go well. And the old John Rambo's got to come out one more time.
One last time.
So, Mike, what did you think of Last Blood?
Wasn't the worst Rambo movie I've ever watched.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. I still think Rambo 3 holds it for the worst. This comes in second, though.
The second overall or second worst?
Oh, second worst.
Okay.
Because there were a lot of things I did enjoy about the movie, but there were also things I didn't.
Well, what'd you like?
I did like, that Rambo was. They kind of developed him as a broken character even more than he already was. That people he couldn't save, whether it was his friends back in Vietnam or just throughout the years, it constantly weighed on him to the point that he volunteered as a horseback rescuer to save more to try and make up for the people that he lost. But he keeps losing people, so it's harder for him to keep afloat. So I liked how they developed him as a character, especially in his old age.
Yeah, I did like how they added more depth to him because I've seen at least the first one, right? And that's where a lot of his character development was in the first one, I feel. So to go back to that, I did appreciate. And I mean, he's really the only character that was developed, but I mean, it makes sense. It's a send-off movie for him, so.
Yeah, I enjoyed a good amount of the action sequences, but I feel like there's a lot more I didn't like. So,
Can I start that?
yeah, you can,
Because
Tyler.
I have been holding my breath. I'm basically skipping over what I liked because there wasn't much that I liked here. I went with my dad out of respect because he loves the older movies and all that. I will say, this movie initially, like up until he goes to Mexico, I liked it. I thought it was a decent setup. I was going with it. But after he goes to Mexico, it loses me and never gets me back. The action, you like the action. I'm glad you did because honestly, I was fucking bored by it.
Harsh.
And look, I get it, Rambo, especially the later movies, is all gruesome, bloody, and all that. But just the fact that either way, either fight was a total beatdown. Either the initial cartel beating him down or him fucking them up at his farm. There was no back and forth, and that makes it less interesting. John Wick does it right because even though he'll win every time, there are people that can realistically kill him, and it makes those fights a lot more engaging. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, we
I
can
mean, what do you think?
argue that piece
Go,
because
go ahead then.
he was bested in the beginning because he was out
He
of his
was
element. He was in Mexico with
hmm
absolutely nothing.
fucking
Realistically, had
stupid of
no
him.
idea. Yeah, realistically had no idea what he was walking into, quite literally.
No, I'm sorry.
And
I don't believe that.
then
I don't.
he got
I don't believe that. He told the girl multiple times, "Don't go down there. It's dangerous. Don't go. Don't go." He knows it's fucking dangerous, and you arrive with a handgun and a knife.
well.
Really?
I'm sure he'd have a hard time getting an M60 past Border Patrol,
Mm,
Tyler.
Now, it didn't stop him though. Jumping the U.S. border with the dead girl toward the end.
We're just gonna, yeah, not talk about that. But back to my point is, he was out of his element, so he brought them into his element. It's kind of like he's been waiting for that moment the entire time. He built those tunnels. That was basically a giant death trap.
Basically, I
So
will
it
say
kind
the
of makes
tunnels were
sense
put
how
to
there
good
was,
use.
yeah. So it makes sense how there was very little fight towards the end. I wish there was a bit more of a fight.
At least with the head dude, right? Like he left
Yeah.
him last on purpose. Makes sense, right? He did have times to kill him, but then I would think besides just cutting out his heart, he'd want a bit more of a beatdown, especially when you have him pinned up. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, but now we get into the point where I had another big problem with. You
Go
can
ahead.
tell
Yep.
you can tell the budget fell short. Like it's obviously noticeable in various scenes. Other scenes are shot very nice. Looks like it's a high budget film, and then other times you're just like, oh, okay. I see they ran out of money for
Mm.
this one.
Do you want me to tell you the budget and let me see if you think if it was money well spent? Because one of the studios here I see is Millennium Pictures. Sorry, Millennium Media, and they're usually known for their like not that great special effects and all that. The budget for Last Blood is reported to be $50 million,
I mean, I feel like 40 million of it was used on explosives.
and not Sylvester Stallone's paycheck.
You got me there. Okay,
Because besides
maybe
Sylvester
20.
Stallone, they hired a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, I think that was the point because he's getting paid. They need
Mm-hmm.
explosives, and then everyone else is getting shorted out.
Yeah. But no, you're right. There was definitely a couple scenes that could have been better, and I feel that actually for $50 million, they didn't have an excuse. I don't
Yeah,
feel like for other movies around the same time, the reported budget for Joker, which we'll be talking about soon, is 65 million. That looks pretty good. We haven't talked about it yet, but Ad Astra, I saw it was really good. That was an $80 million budget. So I think for 50, there shouldn't be an excuse. Like you mentioned toward the end, right? That should have been perfect.
yeah, and they just did a quick cut of him holding his heart after
Yeah,
he sticks his in his chest. It's like, all right, I get that you don't want to show too much because then it would be like really gruesome, but the quick cut just is jarring to watch.
agreed. And I feel like they went pretty gruesome already. You might as well, you're at the finish line. Just show us him doing it. Just show it.
Yeah, because I mean, we got to see him hack his leg off in one swing.
Or how about the guy up against the truck where he's pressing out his collarbone? Like that shit was gruesome, but you can't show him reaching out for the heart.
Yep,
That
not
gets the
gonna
quick cut
happen.
with the movie, and that the plot's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
Like I brought this up to you earlier, but he is the reason the girl is dead, and I feel they didn't focus on that point more. Yes, he's upset and pissed that she's dead, but I feel there should have been more guilt that he's the reason, because now that he went down there making some noise, they took special care of her, which meant more heroin and eventual drug overdose. So again, if he didn't do it, they wouldn't have noticed her, they wouldn't have cared, but he had one shot to go and rescue her, no problem, fucked it up, and didn't make it back in time. I felt that would have been a good time to just hit over the emotional guilt, because, like, yes, he's lost people before, but this is one where he more or less directly is the reason they're dead.
yeah. No, I can agree with that. Some of the acting in it was really bad.
Anyone in particular?
Um,
I thought the girl
let's
was
see.
fine.
The girl was fine. But the girl's father was pretty bad.
Oh, oh, you mean the
That
way he
whole
just?
Yeah, that whole spoiler. This is spoiler alert, by the way, if anyone actually
Yes,
cares to
10
see this
minutes in.
movie.
If you haven't caught on now, we're spoiling it.
So the girl wants to meet her dad after he left him. She finally. That's the reason why she goes to Mexico. Dumbass. And she meets her dad, and her dad's like, "Oh, hey, it's so good to see you. You know, you look just like your mom." And then she asks, "Well, why'd you leave us?" And then he completely turns, like complete fucking 180, and goes, "Because I knew my life would get dragged down by you. I never wanted to see your fucking face or your mother's fucking face. Get the fuck out of my house." And it's like, whoa, whoa, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, and for people who haven't seen it, this literally happens like a flip of a switch. It's not like a long scene on his face as he slowly gets more angry. It's no, next line, fuck you, get out of here. I don't love you. It's like
Yeah,
it really is what just happened.
yeah. You think it's actually gonna be okay for this girl? Like, oh wait, her
Hmm.
dad's actually not a
Hmm.
bad guy. And then they're like, wait, no, we forgot. We gave him the care. We gave him the caring line first. All right, you know what? Fuck it. Let's roll with it. You're a hateful dad now.
Yeah, that's kind of I feel what happened is like, wait, hold on, let me grab a script. Oh, he's supposed to be a shitty dad. Can we just roll with that?
Yeah, half the scenes are already written, so fuck it.
I mean, look, Stallone already got his $30 million paycheck. We don't have the money to retake this scene, so editing will figure it out. The girl's friend, or I would say, quote, friend, she was real annoying.
Yeah.
Kind of wish she died. Like, I would
Yeah,
have
me
liked
too,
Rambo to
actually.
kill
Yep.
her.
Yeah, kind of surprised that he didn't.
Maybe because she was younger and like still had like she wasn't fully into it, but still,
She was do it.
selling out your friend, taking the bracelet. It's like I'm just saying, I feel she should have died first.
I agree.
I know I've been basically shitting on this movie. I will say one scene I did like is when he went back to Mexico and he slowly and quietly invaded one of the top guys' mansion and killed him and killed his guys one by one. That was a very nice scene.
Which he should have done in the beginning.
Yes, and not stand out like a sore thumb as one of the guards pointed him out and called more guards. Like,
I agree.
haven't seen like 2 and 3, but from the clips I see, it's like he's in the jungle, so I would think he knows how to blend in. He didn't blend in at all.
Well, see, that's the problem. He wasn't in the jungle or the desert, so he doesn't know how to blend in with regular society.
I know he doesn't have to blend
Which
in normal
actually
society, but
goes,
like,
which actually goes back to the first movie.
well, yeah, with the first movie, he can't like readjust to society. Like, I feel there's a difference between readjusting to society and like he's on a mission, right? This isn't like, okay, it's peacetime. I'm trying to find, make a life here. It's no, you're on a mission to get the girl back, so his head should be in the right mindset,
Yeah, that's true.
such as walking all the way up the hill as more and more people gather around him, and he does nothing.
I mean, at that point when there was like 15 guys, he was kind of in over his head.
Yeah, so you should have started taking them out one by one as you were going up there and not just let it build up. Because Rambo or no Rambo, 20 people are beating you down. You're going to get beat down.
That's true, and he's an old Rambo.
Yeah, yeah, too. He's not a Rambo in his 20s or 30s. Maybe if he was, Rambo Part 1, Part 2, maybe he'd kill a couple of people on the way down. But no, this is old Rambo. I thought the journalist plot line was all right, but it kind of like
It kind of led nowhere.
yeah, yeah. I feel if that would have wrapped up better if she got something out of it, or at
Yeah,
least a scene of her hearing that they died.
she was just a plot point. That's it.
Yeah, because after she helped the second time, she's out. But I would have liked him calling her, be like, I got them, they're done, whatever, so she can get some peace in her life because she's been investigating them. But it's just little things that just for me anyway doesn't make this an enjoyable movie. I guess the good thing is that it's a quick movie. You said it was what, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
I mean, a very short movie, which I guess for here is good.
Yeah, any longer, and I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done kind of ranting about the movie. Mike, did you have anything else negative that you wanted to bring up, or if you had any other positive things?
No, I think we kind of touched base on everything.
All right. I will say I will give a shout out to the end credits that they did, which was basically a slow montage of the rest of the movies. I thought that was a nice touch. And if you do see this movie, stay through the credits. There's a small, very small, mid-credit scene that could lead into a Rambo 6, possibly. They do kind of leave it open like that. Because I know, Mike, you didn't see the mid-credit scene, so obviously your take on the movie's ending was a bit different.
Yes.
Which, based on what you said, I feel they should have just ended there and not do the post-credit scene. I thought where they ended the movie properly was a good touch.
Yeah, I thought the actual ending was fine. No need for a post-credit scene.
Yeah, I feel like if they ended it where they did, and like that was it for Rambo, that'd been fine. But with that little write-off, it's like, I mean, I guess they could make it sixth.
Rather, they didn't.
Yeah. So we're gonna add something new now to the podcast and see how it goes. Basically, it'll be each of us giving a recommendation, simple yes or no, on if you should see the movie. Mike, do you think people should see Last Blood?
If you're a fan of the franchise, yeah, you have to see it. You have to see how they're supposedly setting off the character. If you're
Mhm.
not a fan of the franchise and you couldn't give a rat's ass, yeah, you don't need to. Don't bother. Maybe watch the first one and then call it a day. If you really want to go past that, watch the fourth one.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement. Even though I haven't seen the rest of the movies in the franchise, if I've been a fan of the character, for 15, 20 years, I feel at that point you kind of just owe it to yourself to finish it up and move on. But if you're just watching this fresh in, skip it. Really, watch the first one. I enjoyed that one, and or like Mike said, the number 4 is also pretty good as well. So you'd have a better time watching those movies. But besides that, Mike, if anyone has actually watched Last Blood, and have something to say about it. Maybe they did like the ending. Where can they tell us?
Well, as always, you can either send us an email at entertainmentexpansion@outlook.com. If that doesn't tickle your peaches, well, come on down to the inner circle, write a comment, or DM us on our latest post, which is labeled Entertainment Expansion, of course. And also, while you're at it, check out our YouTube channel, which is also labeled Entertainment Expansion. We got a whole lot of stuff I think you're going to like.
Yep. If you like listening to podcasts on YouTube, we got you there. We have them all nice and laid out with pictures and everything, so you're not just watching a black screen. We've been having a little bit of discussion on and off on some of the videos, so please come by and join the conversation. And that will be it for this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.